Hi everybody, it's Nat and today I'm with another video. Today I'm going to be recommending 5 adult standalone novels. So these are novels that are not part of a series, they're just by themselves and they all fall into the adult age group, even though like anybody can read them. Like, I mean, yes, I'm technically an adult maybe, but like I not feel like an adult and I still read them, and I know I read most of these when I was still a teen, so if you're not an adult and you want to read these, go for it because they are all so amazing. And I have been trying to read more adult novels lately, so I am actually looking for recommendations too if you guys have any. So let me know in the comments below some of your favorite adult novels because I would love to know. Yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. So I feel like none of these are going to be that big of a surprise. These are all really good books, but the first one is definitely not a surprise if you follow my channel at all, and that is The Host by Stephanie Meyer. This is my favorite book in the entire world, so of course I have to mention it, but it's literally so good. I mean, it's about aliens, but it doesn't really feel like it's about aliens. It's about like these aliens that go into your mind and like become humans almost, and it's about Wanda, this alien that we follow as she kind of develops a relationship with her host. Looks like the body she's living in, and it's just about like her journey, and it's literally so good. I think what really makes this story for me is the characters. They are all absolutely amazing. The story itself is great. The plot, the setting, there's this really cool cave that's like insane. I really want to like go there someday. But no, this is seriously actually it is the best book I've ever read, but it is so good. You should all read it. And next up is one that is very popular right now, and that is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. It's actually becoming a movie. Friday, I think, is when it comes out, which I'm so excited. I'm going to see it on Friday, so I cannot wait. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys know what this is about, but pretty much it's about a virtual reality and this giant Easter egg scavenger hunt for a ton of money. And we follow this guy named Wade who is in the scavenger hunt, and there's an evil corporation and a ton of 80s references. And I actually have a reading vlog up for this book if you guys want to check it out, but it's seriously so good. All of these books that I have are 5 out of 5 stars. I really like this one for the scavenger hunt aspect. I feel like if it was just a book about virtual reality that had a lot of 80s references, it wouldn't be as good, but the scavenger hunt is just so fun. And like I would never be able to solve the scavenger hunt, but I'm sure people who are familiar with the 80s, I'm sure it's fun for them to like kind of read this and go through the scavenger hunt and like try to see what they think it is. But it's just, I love like scavenger hunt type books, like the Da Vinci Code. It's not on this list, but that's like another scavenger hunt type book, or like treasure hunt, and it's so good. So yeah, I really like treasure hunt, scavenger hunt type book. And next up we have The Martian by Andy Weir, and this also became a movie, which is also very good. But I really like this book, obviously, but I wanted to recommend it because I think it's so funny. Like, I feel like, me personally, I don't read a lot of funny books. It's just not really my thing, but I also really like that this one is so funny, but it's not like a funny book. You know, its goal is not to be like a comedy book. It's an adventure book about this guy who's stuck on Mars with like literally nothing, and he has to survive until he can be rescued. But it's so funny. Like, just the character is hilarious. Like, I literally laughed out loud all the time at this book. So if you want a funny book that's not like a comedy, definitely pick this one up because like I was literally laughing the whole time. And it talks a lot about science, which I found really interesting too. It's not presented in a boring way. It's actually very interesting, and I am not super into science, so it's very easy to understand, at least how I remember it being easy to understand if you're not like super, like, you don't have a ton of scientific knowledge. But no, I really love this book. It's so funny and just so good. The main character is absolutely amazing, and I just really love all of the plot too, and kind of all of the shenanigans he gets into, and kind of how he creates his like little world on Mars. And next up I have a very different genre that I don't read all that often, but I have Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. This is like a mystery thriller novel, which I really do not read a lot of, but this also is a movie. Very good, obviously. It's about this husband whose wife all of a sudden goes missing, and then a bunch of clues start piling up that kind of lead to people believing that he is the killer, but he is like none of this information is true. So yeah, it's really good. You're trying to figure out what happened, like where's the wife? Is she really dead? Is she alive? Was she murdered? Did she kill herself? Like, has she been kidnapped? Like, there's just a bunch of things that you're like, what the heck? And the movie is seriously so good. I remember I watched the movie first, and I watched it, and then I went to bed, woke up, and watched it again just because it was so amazing, and I immediately went out and bought the book and read it, and it's so good. It like keeps you on the edge of your seat, and you're just like, what the heck? And it's so interesting to like get into the minds of some of these characters and kind of just like see what they're thinking. Like, it's literally crazy. And the final book on my list is a Stephen King book, and that is Under the Dome by Stephen King. And this is a TV show, but I have not watched it. I watched the first episode and it was like completely different from the book, and I got really mad and never watched it again. But this is about a city, which, like a town, I guess, not a city, where all of a sudden they're put under this like dome, and so you can't get in, you can't get out, like you're literally stuck in this dome, and there's so many characters, and you just kind of uncover all of their like dirty, dark secrets. The ending is okay. I didn't love the ending, but the book itself is so incredibly amazing and intriguing and complex that like I can't help but love this book. Like, it's so good, and I just really love how we get all of these characters, we get so deep and personal in our lives, and like they all intertwine, and just kind of what happens when all of a sudden you're stuck under this dome. And it's just literally amazing. Stephen King is a master, of course. It is a hefty book, but it is definitely worth it. Just go slow. It is so good. But alright, I think that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, comment down below any adult books that you really love. I would love to know, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!